You've got monsters.
You're a monster.
You've got super monsters, and then there's Alucard. He's not just a vampire, he's a one-man, self-healing apocalypse. He's got a fashion sense as sharp as his fangs, and a sense of humor that's probably drier than his victims. We're witnessing a walking, talking, perpetually smiling war crime, and every single glorious psychopathic moment that makes him the blood-red heart of Hellsing Ultimate. So, grab your biggest guns and pour a glass of something red, because this is going to be a bloody good time. Our story kicks off with the Hellsing organization, a top-secret group sworn to protect England from everything that goes bump in the night. It's run by the absurdly iron-willed Sir Integra Fairbrooks Wingate's Hellsing, who got the job as a little girl right after her dad died. What was her first act as a leader? Surviving an assassination attempt by her own uncle. This little family drama led her to a dusty old dungeon and a very, very thirsty corpse.
Let me get some sip.
That corpse, once known as Vlad the Impaler, would become the Hellsing family's most loyal servant and its most devastating weapon, Alucard. Now, when you have a pet Dracula, you don't just keep him for show. You point him at other, lesser supernatural annoyances. From his very first appearance, Alucard sets a pretty clear pattern. He doesn't just kill his enemies, he completely dismantles them, physically and mentally. And he loves it. Maybe a little too much. The guy will let himself get riddled with bullets just to see the look of pure, unadulterated terror on his opponent's face when he gets right back up laughing. This is how we meet Saris Victoria, a police officer having the absolute worst night of her life. After she's mortally wounded, Alucard gives her a choice: die a human or live as a vampire. She picks life, and just like that, she becomes Alucard's fledgling and our stand-in for the absolute madness that is his entire existence. He might be a vicious, all-powerful being, but he is bound to serve the Hellsing organization. The relationship between Alucard and Integra Hellsing is the absolute bedrock of the series. Sure, he calls her master, but their dynamic is way more complicated than that. He respects her a lot, but mostly because she's a human who isn't scared of him. She's the one holding his leash, which doesn't stop him from taking enthusiastic walks in the woods. She is the only one who can unleash his full, terrifying power. This power is kept in check by something called the Control Art Restriction System, a bunch of seals that limit Alucard's insane abilities. When Integra gives an order, he'll obey, but he's going to do it on his own terms, with as much carnage and drama as possible. He is not a dog on a leash. He's a nuclear deterrent with a personality disorder, and Integra's the only one with the launch codes. For a creature as powerful as Alucard, the real enemy is boredom. Most vampires are just insects to him, fakers trying to sit on a throne he walked away from centuries ago. But then he finally meets his perfect rival, Father Alexander Anderson, the Vatican's top assassin from the Iscariot organization, which is a strange name for an organization from an organization that hates Judas. But anyway, Anderson is a regenerator, a man of fanatical faith who carries blessed bayonets and has a complete disregard for the laws of physics. Their fights are nothing short of legendary. They're two sides of the same blood-soaked coin. Anderson is a monster fighting for God, and Alucard is a monster who serves a human. In Anderson, Alucard finds someone who can actually hurt him, and he absolutely loves it. Their rivalry isn't just Protestant versus Catholic, because, well, I don't think either one of them hold to those religions. It's deeply personal. Violent dance between two apex predators who only seem to find meaning when they are trying to kill each other. It is in these brawls that Alucard truly feels alive, just radiating sadistic joy because he's finally found someone who can play rough. This little dance is cut short by a much bigger problem. From the ashes of World War II, a fanatical Nazi battalion of artificial vampires called Millennium rises, led by the war-obsessed Major. Their goal is as simple as it is insane: to plunge the entire world into a glorious, endless war. And where do they decide to start? London.
London Bridge is falling down!
Falling down?
Falling down!
London Bridge is falling down. My fair lady!
Millennium's invasion of London is fast and unbelievably brutal. Nazi zeppelins crowd the sky, dropping 1,000 vampires on the city. The streets literally run red with blood as the three-way war kicks off between Hellsing, Millennium, and Iscariot, who decide to use the chaos to start their own crusade. As London burns, Alucard is stuck on a decommissioned aircraft carrier, forced to listen to the sounds of slaughter from miles away. But you can't keep a good war crime down for long. Using his shape-shifting powers, Alucard pilots the entire warship back to London, making a grand, ridiculous entrance that is perfectly on brand for him. And now, with his master and his home directly under attack, Integra gives the order, the one she's been holding back, the order to unleash hell itself.
When hope is gone, undo this law and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level.
I can't stop.
0.
With these few words, Integra Hellsing signs the death warrant for every single soul fighting against them in London. This isn't just a power-up, it's total annihilation. Level 0 is Alucard at his most powerful, but also his most vulnerable. He unleashes every single soul he's ever consumed over his 500-year life. This isn't an army, it's a river of death. A tidal wave of ghouls, soldiers, knights, and peasants. Every life he's ever taken floods London, swallowing both the Nazi forces and the Vatican Crusaders in one horrifying wave. At the center of it all stands Vlad the Impaler, the man he used to be. Now, in his full monstrous glory, this is Alucard's ultimate war crime, erasing his enemies with the ghost of his past victims. It's a spectacle of such epic horror that even the war-crazed Major can only watch with ecstatic glee. But by becoming an army, Alucard also becomes mortal again. With millions of his souls fighting outside his body, he is left with just one life. He's a king, alone on the throne of corpses, and for the first time in centuries, he can actually be killed. This new vulnerability is exactly what his rivals were waiting for. In a final desperate move, Alexander Anderson uses a holy relic, one of the nails from Christ's cross, to become a true monster of God, a living mess of holy thorns. He hoped that by becoming a monster, he could finally destroy one. But Alucard weeps. He never wanted to be killed by another monster. He wanted his end to come from a human. He screams,
"Do you know what that thing will do to you? You'll become one of God's monsters. Maintain your humanity. Don't succumb to power. Either side, it amounts to the same deal. Whether in the name of the divine or demonic, you're still a monster in the end."
This is the tragedy of Alucard. He's a creature of immense power who hates his own immortality and longs for the humanity he gave up centuries ago when he drank blood from a battlefield to avoid his own execution. He defeats the monstrous Anderson, but the victory feels empty. The man who could have given him his dream of a true death chose to become a monster instead. Alucard's journey is a masterclass in controlled chaos and just pure spectacle. What's your favorite Alucard war crime? Was it the casual brutality, the psychological mind games, or the full-blown level 0 apocalypse? Let me know in the comments, and if you haven't, do yourself a favor and watch both Hellsing Ultimate and the legendary Hellsing Ultimate Abridged series. I promise you will not regret it. Thank you for watching.